I really have become a project manager, product engineer of some sorts, as I look for a freelancer and designer to build my project. So just to give you a quick recap, MoFoods has been in development since February, and I have been developing apps throughout the summer. Very basic apps. I'm not going crazy on the UI or the functionality, just enough to get understand the traction and like the interest of the apps. Right. Went to San Francisco, did build space. That was awesome. I built 11 apps 11, 12 apps this year that are now on the iOS App Store, one also on a Google Play Store. And MoFoods has been taking a lot of time, and I have been like struggling to find time to build it as I got work and other commitments, and I got like a bunch of other apps I want to start in December, so I can start shipping them out every week again, like I did this summer. On the next summer, I want to do that where I launch them every Monday. So I have other apps to build where I'm put more effort into the UI UX, more polished, the functionality. They're going to be MVPs. They're going to be solving one problem specifically and do it very well. And they're all going to have in-app purchases. And at the same time, I'm going to circle back and add in-app purchases for the other apps. So this is why I'm going with this approach with MoFoods, where I'm going to outsource some of my with this project, and maybe in the future, depending on the relationship I have with the freelancer, outsource different tasks so I can focus on what I'm good at. And I need to focus on the marketing because I got these cool ideas that solve my problem, and I know they solve other people's problems as I do the research. I've been doing the research since like January on these apps and looking at trends and all this stuff. So I got it mapped out, and I'm planning on talking to other people who are better at finding those things and understanding the marketing. But it comes down to getting the apps out. So that's just a quick recap of getting you all caught up on what I'm doing. And I'm gonna start iterating this because people are slowly starting to watch my videos and see this. So, uh, I have built Verse. I spent 4,500 on Verse for Android and iOS back in 2017, 18 when I was building that app in 2016. I was basically building another Vine or a TikTok before TikTok. I came up with the UI UX. It was like a 12-page, 15-page document. Gave it to a studio in India to build, and I'm now I was created a thing for other um, created a document for other people, other freelancers to understand what I'm going for, and I'm using Contra. At first, I was like, this isn't good, but now it's getting better. Like I'm finally getting candidates, and I am finding some really talented designers now. You know, I switched. I've kind of made my decision on the developer I'm going with, and he's the one. I'm convinced this is the guy. Uh, and now I'm looking for a designer because he gave me some good feedback. And I kind of suspected this. I understand working with other people's code bases can be difficult. They say the hardest thing about coding is working with other people's code. That's one of the hard things. But I was kind of hoping like I could find a studio or a developer where I have the design ideas, right, the concepts and stuff of what I'm trying to go for, right. I made these myself. I'm not a UX UI designer. I'm kind of just self-taught and just playing around what I can and developing my UI, right. And I was hoping that they would take look at the features, be able to kind of work with my messy code. It ain't all that, but it works, and find ways to like revamp the UI, and add the features that I need. And I was like, I could do that, right? I could go into this code base that I'm familiar with and do that. But I understand other developers may not find it that's easy. And of course, they pointed out some things where I already pointed out and actually mentioned it in my document. Uh, there's some bugs I know that are in there. No form validation. There's no feedback to the user for when they're waiting for a form to submit. I know this. Purposely skipped those things to hurry up and get it out. I was doing a hackathon as well, like a second hackathon for this app. So yeah, that's just I'm about 4 minutes into the backstory. So where I am right now is I got my developer. My developer, um, we had a discussion and it was good feedback. He needs, and I agree with him. He needs a design, some high fidelity mockup where he can just look at it, understand functionality. He understands what I'm going for, and he can just build it, right? There's no like back and forth. And I was expecting that, like I was like, he'll probably come up to me and be like, yeah, how do you want this, da da da. And he's probably recommended we start from scratch, and I'm cool with that. Even though I kind of worked really hard on it, but I'm okay with it. Uh, he's gonna do it for a reasonable price from front to back, build more foods, and I can focus on some personal life things going on, and plan out the other apps and work on a business plan. And most importantly, the most important thing, a marketing plan, a marketing strategy, sales to make MoStudios an app studio that actually generates money. It's making money, right? So I got to take that part a little seriously, invest more time. So I'm going to have someone work on this. And we're finding some good designers. The budget is low. I understand. I'm not much of a familiar with the industry when it comes to design, but I understand. Like I put 250. Uh, I don't mind showing their profiles because these people are pretty good. Um, and I'm planning on talking to some of them. Uh, I'm also using Freelancer. I used Freelancer way back when I was building Verse. So yeah, some proposals in there. Uh, and I understand what like idea. So this is my strategy. This is actually why I was like, let me make this video real quick. I'm gonna figure out how many screens I need exactly for my app, right? And then based on the quote, see which screens they can do for me, or which ones I would prefer them do. And then I will take on I will take on the other designs, and I will do a decent enough job so the developer can understand what he has to do, and I will do the wireframing, right? Um, because I'm on a tight budget. I will not spend 1,500 or more on this app. I told myself I would. Verse was the last app I would ever pay for because now that I didn't know how to code back then. Wasn't studying software engineering. I was studying computer engineering and electrical engineering before like switching majors and stuff. And I have the ability to build this stuff, right? But I'm doing it quick and it's looking garbage right now. But the idea is just to go quick, ship fast. It's very different. iOS and mobile is definitely than building web applications, which I plan on getting to next year. Um, so I will count the screens. I think it's about 20 I counted so far. Uh, and they'll get a quote. They'll look at my designs. I'll probably have them do the wireframing, but anything to kind of fit the 250 budget. If not, maybe 300. If I have to remove some, that's fine. Like I did these onboarding screens. I like them. I did a pretty good job. A designer might be like, well, honestly, I ain't do too bad for someone who's not a designer. Um, but these are some nice onboarding screens I'm gonna change up a little bit, and these are decent. And this is what I have right now. That's what it looks like on the app right now. If you swipe, it's the same layout. So yeah, there's some screens that I'll take on the responsibility and do it myself. But I definitely want authentication. I definitely want the folders. I could do the folders if I wanted to. The designs are done for this one. I just need the details view kind of tidied up. And groups. I definitely need who it helps with this group feature and the AI recommendation, which I actually have. Oh, shoot, Strange. Yeah, I have him helping me. Man, I'm gonna make sure I get his name right and give him a shout out. Sanger, shout out Sanger, who's gonna help me out a little bit with that, and then probably give it to the designer polish up. But who knows? Might just be me and him working on it. So yeah, this is what I got so far. It's outsourcing this development so I can focus on the other apps, the business plan, and the marketing. Tomorrow I'm going to New York City, with to this influencer meetup, to kind of network. I'm trying to go to this too on Sunday. Shout out Cold and Coffee. I've been going here since the pandemic. Um, but going here to like find people who can help me market my app and talk about it and things like that. So this is what I'm going to tomorrow in New York City. TikTokers, YouTuber, Instagram meetup. So this is going to be valuable. I got to hit a 10. But yeah, it's good. I just need a designer. I just need someone who is flexible enough to help me with the most important things and enough so my developer can be like, I know what you need. I know what I'm doing, and I don't have to supervise. Like he'll check in with me when the milestones are reached, and stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, there's that. All right, that's all I got. Try to keep my videos under 10 minutes. I'm documenting the whole journey of me trying to make a solo indie studio, app studio. And again, the studio is for creating all kinds of ideas outside of code. It could be, I plan on writing, I'm doing some videography, whatever. But let's start with the software. Let's start with what I'm good at, and then expand. But this is where we're starting with. You've seen my other videos. I don't need a lot of users. I need at minimum for certain projects 1,000 subscribers, not users, people who subscribe because the product I made solves the problem and it's worth paying for, whether it be $1.99, $2.99, $7.99, $12. And I just need to sell out the Apollo Theater once or twice, and then the Radio City. You could check out my video where it says I don't you don't need a lot of users. So small apps that solve frustrating problems and enough to incentivize the user to be like, this is worth $8 a month, right? We're not again nothing crazy, but this is going to be a fun journey. And yeah, imagine, who knows, maybe it will blow up and one of the apps might just be a standalone startup. We don't know. I don't know. But we just got to try and see what happens.